Hey, welcome to the final Hang Outlander of Season 1 with That's Normal and Hypeable. We are very glad to be here tonight. We've got our core group of That's Normal and Hypeable folks. We have so much to talk about, but it's the last one. It is the 16th Hang Outlander. Well, it's actually a lot more than that, but the 16th one that has to do with a recap of the show. We're ready to get into the end of Season 1, talk about the beginning of Season 2. And we're just going to introduce ourselves and say what we're drinking. I'm Beth. I'm with That's Normal. I'm having, I don't know what kind of wine this is. It's a Fiano. Is that a wine? Anybody heard of a white wine called?
Never heard of it.
Fiano?
I drink white. I've never heard of it.
It's from Australia.
Stupid. Sounds stupid.
As everything from Australia is.
Big spiders in that bottle.
Yeah, it's really good, actually. It's very nice. It was a little darker than the Pinot Grigio that we had, so I decided to drink that one. I'm also going to eat some sour worms and some popcorn because that's how I roll. Becca, introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Becca. I'm from That's Normal, and I'm drinking something that has a coaster attached to it, apparently. If you watched our Periscope pre-show, part 2, you would have noticed that my husband poured me something delicious. He went to a cocktail class a week or 2 ago and learned how to make something with gin and cucumber and lime, I think, and it's super yummy. Today my tagline is #Emmys for Outlander LOL. We'll talk about that later.
Oh. Mine, I didn't say what mine is. Mine is When They Pierced Your Side, because that's what I think about when I think about the Jesus imagery in this episode. It's Sandy Patty singing, When They Pierced Your Side. And if you want me to sing Easter cantata songs, I will.
We do.
But not right now.
We want that.
Well, I'll sing them. Who's next?
Kyle.
Okay, hi, I'm Kyle from Hypeable.com. I am drinking White Zinfandel, 2-buck chuck, again, because I love my 2-buck chuck. It's like the best. And my tagline is, the gay I did not want. Because I'll talk about it later.
Okay, good. We will talk about it. It'll happen.
Okay. Nikki?
Nikki's muted.
Sorry, I was over trying to tweet something. I'm Nikki. I'm with That's Normal, and I actually poured a real drink tonight, guys.
Oh.
I think everyone should take a drink.
Yes, we should. That's been on our drinking list. Drink when Nikki drinks.
Yep. There you go. So my tagline is Tobias brand me because I like him, but he's awful in this show. Anyway, so tonight we have a fun little game that we're doing. Anytime, I'm going to set an alarm of an undisclosed time to you guys. Anytime you hear this song, when that goes off, we're going to give away something free. Whoever tweeted us last is winning something, so you better start tweeting. Hang Outlander. We'll give away something soon. Fun. All right.
It's like musical chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. Twitter musical chairs. All right, Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm from Hypeable, and I'm drinking this here, which everyone has just informed me is Lagavulin, apparently, is how I say this.
Oh, it's not Lefroy. It's Lagavulin.
Lagavulin. I was like, how are you getting Lefroy out of that? Anyway, Twitter has shamed me into learning how to say it again. So Lagavulin, it's really good. It's vying for the Oban as the best scotch that I've had so far, and I now know what they mean by smoky and peaty. I get it. So I'm not sure how sober I'm going to be at the end of this, but it's really good stuff.
Nice.
James?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jamie, the city girl from That's Normal. I am using my Care Bear cup. I know it's come out before, but I think we could all use a little Care Bear stare tonight to help cheer us up. I am not drinking alcohol again. I know, lame, but you got to do what you got to do. My tagline tonight, I'd rather be watching SPCA ads because I don't know if you're like me, but I can't take like animals in pain or any sort of like any connotation of animals just being mistreated, and so I automatically have to change the channel when those commercials come on. And basically, I felt like I was in more pain watching the episode this weekend. So I'd rather watch those Sarah McLachlan ads.
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't think I would rather watch those.
No,
It
they're
would be
terrible.
quicker. It would be quicker. So let's get into it. We have stuff to talk about. There's been all kinds of chatter online about this episode. We say that every stupid week. But this one is a little bit, it's more deserved, I guess, the chatter itself. So that opening scene with Jamie and Jack, we're getting the end of all of the stuff going on, and we get some more full frontal Tobias. How did everybody feel at the opening of the episode?
Put that dick away.
The only time you'll hear a gay man say that.
That's how I felt about it.
Oh, God. Dead
no,
eyes.
I was okay with it.
Yeah. Dead eyes. Like that. Just that look of Sam on the side. I mean, just dead, glazed eyes. That was just wow.
I thought he was dead for a second.
Yeah, I think that was the point to kind of make him look. And that was amazing because that was all one shot too, I think.
Yeah.
And just his non-blinking stare, just like gone emotionally. Yeah, it was intense.
And like, how often do you see the aftermath of something like that? Like normally, when rape is depicted on screen or something like that, it's you see it suggested, or you see the girl in the shower like kind of crying at the end or something. You don't see like the immediate aftermath of the victim and the perpetrator together in bed. The victim just totally like stripped down.
Yeah. And then juxtaposed with like the British band playing in the courtyard.
Yeah.
With because I'm a total dork and a nerd. The song that Bear McCreary had them playing there is something called "Gentleman Soldier," and for the 10 people like me who got it, I was just like, that was just so brilliant to have that be the song, as Jack was like the furthest thing from what that song says. That was pretty amazing. So like me and like 10 other people got it, Bear.
Oh gosh, I never would have gotten that.
Nope.
Yeah, because I'm a nerd and a dork, and I've seen the Sharp series. That's the only reason I got it, because I'm a nerd and a dork.
Oh gosh.
So my husband wouldn't watch it with me. He actually doesn't want to watch the episode. He's heard enough from us just talking about it, and then like a bunch of you guys watched it before I did. I didn't get a chance to watch it till actually yesterday, and so he was like, I just can't watch. And I was like, we see rape all the time on TV, like what? Not that, of course, it is different, but he did say, like, I think that's what we saw, the aftermath. And, like, I think a lot of times when we have seen it, and I haven't seen a ton of it, like, I don't watch stuff that makes me super uncomfortable. Like, I don't. And I think I'm totally losing my train of thought. Thank you, Cucumber Drink. But I think, like, seeing it that emotional, you're right, Beth. We generally just see, like, it happen quickly for, like, maybe 20 seconds, and it's terrible and horrible, but then they move on. And we saw pretty intense, terrible shit for a long time. Yeah. Thankfully, there were breaks. The way you guys first described it to me, because I heard a lot about it, I know you said flashbacks, but I was envisioning a lot more of, like, a half-hour stretch. It did break it up a little bit, and I am grateful. They did it as best I think they could.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to handle it if it was all just like all the Jamie and Black Randall thing, and then switching over to Claire. Like that would have been too much all at once.
Sorry, Nikki, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you guys think they needed to show as much? I saw so many comments on different threads here and there of people, I didn't need to see all of that. It could have been implied, blah, blah, blah. I mean, was there a consensus among you guys? I think it was actually done well. It was really tense, but I think it was right.
Everybody has their own line in the sand. I mean, it's such a subjective thing, but I felt like it was very honest, and I think I said this online, that if we ever get to the point where a rape scene is anything but horrifying and brutal, then the production has failed on a woeful level.
Yeah.
Just if we get glossed over, I don't think it was gratuitous, and I don't think it was too much. But I felt like it was what it had to be, in particular because we don't see male rape. And I think there's a lot of people who don't understand that that's even possible, and that, to me, is a more horrifying thing.
I actually thought that last week was more torturous. The pace of last week and the way that it was edited and how the scenes were pulled together. In 115, I was really, really, really tense and terrified and just kind of really not okay with all the torture. And in this one, there was a respite and there was a difference. The story was the aftermath. And yes, we went back to what had happened, but the story was after it had happened and what was going forward. So you knew he was going to get out of it. Whereas in 115, you're seeing it happen as it's happening. You don't know where that's going to end. I mean, the whole time in 115, I was worried the rape was coming. And so in this one, I knew it was coming, but at the same time, they were giving, I loved the way it was played out. So I wasn't really, it wasn't as bad to me as the week before.
I'm going to say that I could have done without watching the episode altogether. I think that I just get very emotionally disturbed by things, and I think I might have just repressed the entire end of Outlander while reading, or just quickly glossed over it, because it's just not something that my soul can take. And then watching that and being a very visual person, it just it was very painful. And I mean, that goes to show that they were great actors, and it just felt real and visceral. And I mean, the pain and just, I mean, it was all evident, and it was just too much for me personally. And I'm not usually somebody that shies away from watching violent things, except when it happens to animals. But this was really rough for me to watch, honestly. And then I just remember in the book, I think, honestly, I prefer the second book to Outlander. I prefer Dragonfly and Amber to Outlander itself as a book. So I think this is just like a reminder of, like, oh, this is the stuff that I didn't like. And it's just so, I could go on and on. But so I'll be the outcast this time. I'll be the Jenny. And I kind of hated it.
I think it was really, like what Laura said, I guess, to reiterate, I think it was really important, and I don't think it was gratuitous at all. As like a non-book fan and not knowing what was happening and what was going to happen, I was like completely shocked, I guess, because I saw the gay coming at the last week on 115, but I didn't see it getting that far. And I think I can't talk. I think it's important because you don't see that, and it's not something that happens all the time, and it's not something that people ever think about, and so it forces you to think about it, and it forces you to be involved and to like see and to realize that like that is a thing that happens. And so like I appreciate the fact that they went so far. I don't think they went too far. I think it's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable for sure, but I don't think they went too far, in my personal opinion.
Do you think, I mean, are you talking overall, like the whole thing, or do you think you're talking more about specifically like the very violent raping we saw, or like even just the super emotional like lovemaking part, which was disturbing, maybe to me more
everything.
Yeah, that was certainly much more disturbing.
They were both disturbing. Yeah. I mean, my hands were over my face for the first one for sure, but then that was just like just seeing him broken down about that, I think I just skipped ahead. Sorry, Beth. Beth wanted us to stay in order.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I thought was interesting though, and I guess I can kind of juxtapose this against another show I watch. Like, I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, but I often feel like The Walking Dead is very violent and very horrifyingly violent, but I get no time to look away. Like, all of a sudden it's like boom, and it's in my face. I felt like with the way they filmed these scenes, though, that I kind of, like, I knew when to duck my hands, or pull my blanket up, or whatever you wanted to do. I felt like I had, even if I was a non-book reader, maybe Kyle, you could speak to it. Did you have enough time to look away if you felt like you needed to look away?
I think so. I think just watching the episode, I set it up as the last thing I watched for the night, which Okay, tangent. I had a dream that I had sex with Jamie and that I ended up being pregnant. I was pregnant in the dream. I think that was because of this episode. It was the weirdest thing.
Oh man, that's a fanfic I'm gonna write.
I was just gonna
tomorrow.
say, there's like,
Wait, mute off.
there's too many like MPreg fanfics running through my head.
I know.
right now.
I'm just
I'm going,
but like, having said that,
We're giving something away. Oh, okay.
No, we're giving something away.
We're giving a thing away. Sorry to interrupt you guys. The last person who tweeted the Hangoutlander hashtag is Chuchello.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I think.
DM or a message or something.
Yeah, I think we follow you. You may have won something before. You're gonna win. Oh gosh, this is always one. We have tried to give this away 4 times before. An Outlander flask. We've given it away to non-alcoholic drinkers, to people who've already had one. Okay, so there's an Outlander flask. If you want this, please message us right now. Or
No, you have to take it or you get nothing.
You're put lemonade in it.
Tonight.
We have a bunch of
lemonade.
these.
That's fine.
Put lemonade in it.
Exactly. Okay. All right, sorry, Kyle. Back to talking about rape.
So okay, well,
You got
the
pregnant.
The dream that I had made me think that like I had enough time to look away, but it was still in my head. Like, is what essentially I was trying to say. Like, I know that dream was like really random and like just absurd, but the point I'm trying to make is that I was sitting there in bed and I was watching the entire time, and I felt like the way that they cut it, they'd let me watching it alone, and I didn't actually physically look away. Like, watching it and having time to see Claire do what she does was enough time for me.
You're kind of processing it with Claire.
Yeah.
Like, you see what happens, you know that Jamie's telling it to her in real time, and then it flashes to her, and you get to kind of respond with her for a little bit. So, or the other times, you know, it cuts to something totally different, and you get to kind of take yourself out of it. So I appreciated the way it was
and you
cut.
go, the end.
Yeah.
Just
But,
like
I mean, you knew it was coming, though. I mean, it's not like you didn't know it was coming. So, yeah. I mean, my biggest thing, the things that bothered me or made me want to look away, were the things I felt that Tobias was like adding in. Like, isn't he? I mean, don't you think he's kind of like an impromptu, like ad-libbing kind of actor? And so the little boop on the nose and like going under his skirt, pushing his knees apart. The pushing his knees apart was really killer for me.
So rough.
And so it's kind of the things that I felt were Tobias, like something he probably did different on every take. That stuff like ruined me a little bit. Like, I felt a little bit of my soul shrivel up every time something new happened like that.
When you can tell it's like a Tobias like little affect for Blackjack. All the licking, he did it again. He did like licked the lip. He did like a weird thing down here. Like, what is the deal? We have to ask him on some red carpet or something.
It is the creep factor. Like, it just makes you do like one of these, you know.
And again, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't see rape every week on TV, as I know it happens all the time. I mean, I've seen it, but there is something about the way he is, and I don't know if it is because it's 2 guys and they feel like they can get away with a little more than like even like a really intense, creepy scene between a guy and a girl. I mean, again, somebody would have to be like, nope, here's a perfect example of a male and female creepy rape scene. But yeah, that is something I don't think we see, like that intimacy that he gets with him.
Well, the problem is, like, with the Sansa Stark rape that we talked about last week, and there's been a couple of articles comparing them and how the fan response has been different between the 2 of them. People were so up in arms about Game of Thrones, and that hasn't really happened with this, and why? And a lot of people are saying it's because of gender roles, or it's because, you know, we're not seeing Sansa's rape from her point of view. We're seeing it from the point of view of somebody else who's in the room, a third party, and so, like, what about that makes it so different? And really the point that makes it different is that crap in Game of Thrones doesn't happen in the book. They put it in there. It's the definition of gratuitous. What's happening on screen with Outlander fans are already ready for it, and it's not something that the screenwriters are throwing in when there's already tons of rape going on.
Was it as detailed? Like, I mean, was the rape scene detailed in the book? Like, I mean, obviously the TV show is going to get far more detailed than the book because they can show everything. But my question for you guys is the book that heavy? Is it that intense, or is it less so? And did the show intensify it at all?
I think seeing it visually, like you said, intensifies it. But I don't. Yeah, he's telling her, and he's not like he then licked my bottom lip. Like you're not. You're getting a general overall, and you're getting enough of a picture. But I think seeing that and like their imagination of what happened is so much heavier.
You're also getting Jamie's filtered story telling Claire. And he also tells a little bit, if I remember right, does he not like tell a little bit more of it in like other books too? We continue to get little drop-ins.
Yeah.
There we witnessed the fullness of the attack. She doesn't hear all of it. He only hears part of it, and it's sort of his abridged version of it. So I think that's a little bit of the difference of it. And then I think also the other difference of it too is that why we don't have people screaming like they are with Game of Thrones is looking at Game of Thrones, other than Sansa pouting in her cell and looking like this, she doesn't seem very affected about the fact that she was attacked. Like, Jamie's going to carry this with him for the rest of his life. And you know, Ron Moore has said that in interviews, and book readers know that. It's not like every day he's waking up and going, I was raped by Black Jack Randall, but that's going to play into his character for the rest of the series. And I don't think a lot of shows that do rape do that. It's like, okay, we had the rape episode and now they're getting over it, other than the one traumatic, they're going to have a flashback in a dark alley and that's it. You know, you know, this is totally melded into his fiber and his being.
Right. But it does seem like he kind of gets over it pretty relatively quickly for as traumatic as it is. And especially in the book, the way it kind of happens. You know, everyone can drink for the book comparison, but I think there was a lot of people out there on Twitter that were asking, like, they wanted, I guess, more Jamie and Claire time, which I could have had more of, like, the healing, like, that part of it, too. But them, like, wanting more, like, how it happened in the book, and I think that's just so unrealistic to expect that. I mean, it's still unrealistic of, like, where she went and how she dealt with. I don't know. It just didn't. I don't think that. I think if like a psychologist came and talks about like what she did, he'd probably be like, "That's so fucked up."
So Kyle, did you get any impressions of kind of what she did to bring him out?
It was a little confusing to me. Just like I can tell that like she felt that she needed to be rough with him to just kind of force him into dealing with her, because he really didn't want to look at her at all. I did feel that it was forced at the end. I think it came about all too quickly. I think they could have used another episode, honestly, to have Jamie adequately and reasonably get over this. And I'm really hoping that the second season still shows him having to deal with it, because something like that has a really long-term effect, I think. And I don't know how it was in the books, but like it's not going to be realistic if we go into next season and like go into episode 1. Oh, there's a giveaway! Uh-oh.
I used it because you were on a roll. Let me look. And then I have an awesome tweet. I hope I can find it again.
Well, yeah, I know what it is, and I was gonna talk about it.
There's two awesomes. Okay. Last one is me, Laura 63 LTP. Tweet us. Send us a DM. I'll follow you in a second.
Hold on.
What'd you win?
In this, it's an Outlander T-shirt.
Yay.
Back, it looks like this. It says, "Real men wear kilts." It's a size large. I hope it fits. If it's too big, you can wear it to bed. If it's too small, you can give it to your kid. You're getting it.
Awesome.
So Tara on Twitter said that she found it interesting that Tobias has a dad bod. And look, Tara. All right. He was playing up the muffin top for Blackjack. I'm pretty sure underneath all of that,
Rock
it's
hard.
something you. But I'll say this is like the biggest surprise for me in this episode was how attractive Sam looked as Jamie in the dungeon.
Yep.
Like, he looked crazy hot. Maybe the hottest he's looked all season.
That's bad.
And it's so disturbing.
It is disturbing, but even getting it, okay, I don't know when they shot it, but even getting back to the boat, then he had like the terrible hair again, where it's like saggy and thin. Like it just looked.
It looked really bad.
It looked really bad. And so
Maybe
I don't know. It's session.
Maybe there's like less humidity in the dungeon. I don't know. But
the dungeon is an interior set.
You can also tell the size difference between Sam and Tobias at that time, not now. They're much more similar now, but at that time he was massive. Like he's holding him, and he's like holding his boob. I mean his pec.
Oh, his tits looked amazing. His tits were so on point, like in the making love scene, and they were all like furry, and I was like, what?
I have to say though, one thing I really do appreciate with Ron Moore is he said as they were, cutting the scene, he's like, look, I basically have two guys there with their dicks out. And he said that he realized that at a certain point as they're editing it, he goes, I just couldn't have the first time we saw our leading guy's genitalia was during a rape scene. So I do want to appreciate that.
Yeah,
that wasn't it.
They should have showed it in the wedding episode.
Yes,
yes.
Exactly.
When do we see Sam?
Yeah.
When do we think we're going to see Sam?
Yeah, like exactly, Beth. So I was sitting, I just the whole time was going, I really don't want this to be the first time I see this. Like, so I'm happy we haven't seen it all season if it was going to be seen there.
Well,
so approve with that choice.
Absolutely. That's absolutely the right choice. Don't show his dick when he's being raped. That's awful.
Yeah, if it hasn't been there before. Yeah.
Like, even if it had been there before, it wouldn't have been an appropriate time for us to really like get a glimpse of it. But if because we hadn't seen it, it would have been 100 times worse if we'd seen it. It would have been just totally wrong.
So wait a second. We are going to see it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he'll probably
see it.
I think he'll do full frontal. He obviously has done it. They've just chosen to edit it out.
Right.
My point is, we should have seen it in the wedding, or we should have. When we should have seen it was in the reckoning. The reckoning, we should have seen penis.
Yes.
Remind us who aren't huge Outlander dorks of the day which episode that was.
That is the first episode when we got back and we got Jamie's point of view, and they had.
Can we just not his dick like every episode?
What? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay, we'll ask Kyle.
Yep.
Okay,
also,
great.
just quick shout out to our friend on Twitter, Dougal's Beard, who backed me up and said the flashback in Dragonfly in Amber is a lot worse. That he does tell Claire more details in Dragonfly. So.
I mean, do you think that they left that open, or do you think they told enough that they're probably not going to go there?
We are not going back to Wentworth.
I don't know.
I don't think we are either because we as readers or viewers saw it. I don't think we're going to go back there.
Dear God,
nothing left. There's nothing left. There's nothing that he ever tells her that we didn't see.
Right.
I'll say it right here. I'm turpentining this shit if they go back there.
Yeah. For those of you that aren't into the Twyfic world, turpentine she's safe wording. She's safing out. That's her hard limit. Turpentine's her hard limit. She's safing out on it. But I agree. It's stupid to go back to Wentworth at this point. I don't want to see any flashbacks of that.
I think it would just feel out of place. As a non-book reader, like, I think we've dealt with this and we've seen it, and that's we don't need more flashbacks.
I don't think we'd get it extended, but I could see it maybe causing him to react to something in a certain way. I don't want to spoil for non-book people, but I could see things flashing through his mind when other events occur.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I have a tweet that we have to discuss. Tallulah NYC says, I think Sam was wearing a merkin. Seemed better groomed in the wedding. For everyone who doesn't know what a merkin is, that's fake pubic hair / like a pubic wig.
Okay.
What?
All right, listen, Tallulah. Hi, Tallulah. We met Becca. This is the girl that we talked to in NYC.
Did she come on the? She attacked us on the sidewalk?
No, we saw her in the theater afterwards. She came up and.
Okay. Oh, hi.
So I had to screen cap a few bits of this episode for my recap, and he's not less groomed. I think it's dirt.
Oh, I thought it was like shade.
Oh, that looked like pubic hair.
No, I thought it was shaven pubic hair at first too, and Blackjack is like putting lavender oil on him and like going down, and it kind of moved the dirt a little bit.
Orange?
So it's dirt. It's dirt and blood.
I thought it was
Pretty
orange
sure.
pubes.
Are you sure they didn't
of it,
like dye his pubes?
A little bit of it is pubes, but like all of that like that looked shaven is not. It's dirt. But his chest hair was very furry.
The poll of the night: dirt or pubes?
Tweeting it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Grit or grit? It's grit, you guys, just in case you're wondering.
Beth is right. Final word. Well, she probably has watched that scene far too many times to admit to.
I'm tweeting Sam. I'm just gonna tag him.
Oh God! We're gonna be that person.
I think this is the least weird thing he's probably seen from the Outlander fandom.
Yeah, just wait till you get his penis on screen.
Oh God! Outlander fandom. I'm already dreading that.
It's gonna be like their profile picture. Some like it's Scott,
no.
they're like pointing to it.
No. Put down the cropping.
Kyle's like, idea. I have an idea.
Whoa! Oh, giveaway time! Oh, it was already at the end of the song, guys. Let me turn that shit down. Okay. Who's winning? Takes me a second. Sorry.
And the Twitter feed
It's
was wild.
Right. HP Girl for Life 87. She says we're only talking about the important topics tonight. Merkins and pubes.
That's a good point. All right, so this is what you win, HT Girl 87. You're gonna win a notebook from Stars. Wait, it's not on the screen's not on me. Sorry. Which inside has a little Jamie Fraser. Not the little Jamie Fraser we're all thinking of. Not that
I
one.
was just going to say, is that good?
Not his little soldier.
Yeah, just an actual, pocket Jamie. So congratulations. What was the name again, Nikki?
HP Girl for Life 87. Send us a DM.
Yeah, we'll follow
you.
Congratulations.
Real quick, Amy, KSU, just said, or she told me, no cows were harmed in the making of this episode.
Because that's what you've been so upset about. The cows! The damn cows!
I love cows.
I did worry that the army was going to start, like, shooting them. I was just upset on multiple levels.
I was thinking that Blackjack would totally have been killed. Like, a stampede of, like, crazy...
Okay, yeah. Did he not die? Is he still alive in the book?
Oh, are we supposed to know?
Maybe we're not supposed to know. Sorry, guys, if that was...
Okay, Kyle, did you think he was dead?
It looked like... There was a pool of blood next to his head.
That would be such a disappointing death.
Yeah.
Mauled by a cow.
Right?
That is not a villain's demise by any means.
No.
It did kind of feel like a little Dukes of Hazzardy when the bull started running. It was like ready for like the music to start, and then to people to be like running around corners and chasing.
But then like the door kind of exploded. It was like.
You could tell he was on a harness actually, because he kind of went up in the air and the feet went back. It was. Yeah, it was. You know.
Let's spoil you, Kyle. Do you want us to spoil you about Blackjack?
Yes.
Well, wait. I don't know that it's a spoiler if he paid attention closely to when she...
She doesn't tell him.
Oh, she doesn't.
You don't hear it.
Okay. Sorry.
This
Remember she
one is
tells
really
him,
good.
Kyle, remember when she tells him, I know the exact date that you die?
No.
You don't remember that? It was a couple... I can't remember when it was, but she says that to him.
It sounds familiar.
When he's like, I am a witch and I know exactly when you die.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So the question is going into season 2, is he dead? Did they change the future or didn't they?
Okay. Can we? I have so many opinions about the ending of that. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, I'll wait until we're there.
Beth, tell us when we can. Tell us what's next on the agenda.
Well, you fuckers have skipped around, so log on now. Talk about what you want.
Blame it on the alcohol.
So we want to talk about the ending?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Kyle. You catch us off there, Two-Buck Chuck.
Okay. When Claire was like, "Oh, maybe we can change the future," literally, I was laying in bed. I was like, "Do," and then she was like, "Let's change the future." I was like, "You dumb bitch!" Like, excuse me? Because I'm pretty sure everything you've already done has already screwed the future. Already. Trying to prevent an entire war from happening, it's just gonna completely change the future that she knew. And the butterfly effect would just be terrible. Unless we're going in this route where the future is the way it is because she did all of these things already, which I don't even Doctor Who already has enough time travel craziness going on.
Well, think about this. Her husband is a historian, doing that time frame. That's his specialty, is the Jacobite era of Scotland or something. I guess it's his specialty. I don't fucking know. But I mean, her name is on documents from that time frame, and he studies that shit.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
And here's the thing too. If Black Jack Randall is dead, and if Black Jack Randall is the direct ancestor of the man that she's married to in the 20th century, if they kill him before he conceives a child, did she just erase her husband's future?
Yeah.
Well, and then how does she get to Scotland in 1945?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
she struggles with that.
So there's a lot of what ifs.
Why didn't she take back a picture of her and Frank, and then the whole time look at it and see if his head disappears in Back to the Future? And then she's like, "Oh shit, I messed it up. I gotta go back and do this again."
Yeah.
Run back through the stones, back in.
I was gonna say she would have done better if she went back in the late '80s and had already seen Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2.
Someone please write me a Back to the Future / Outlander crack fic. That would be the best thing ever. Please.
Marty McFly pulls up in the DeLorean.
You didn't hear this, Diana. I didn't say fanfic. I said crack fic.
You know who's going to be great at that is Blurtlander.
Do it, Blurtlander. Write me a crack fic.
But you make a really good point, Kyle. She's already changed the future. I mean, who's to say that Jamie Fraser would not have been dead 5 other ways if it wasn't for Claire intervening in his life?
So, okay, my question is, you said that her name is on the paperwork that her husband was studying already?
Well,
it could be.
It could be.
Because, that's... I just want to know. I don't know, man. I want to get a glimpse of her husband in 1940s to see what he's doing and see if he's doing, I don't know. Because, that's the thing that solves it all for me. Is if we know that her name is in the history work that he already knows, then we don't have to worry about her changing the future because it's already changed because of what she's done. But if she isn't involved in anything that he's studied in, then that's when we worry about her starting to have an effect on everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am so excited for you to don't look at anything, Kyle. You need to be just completely surprised by what happens, which I think the majority of the watchers and the new fans are going to be. I don't think they're going to look ahead unless there's new book readers.
Yeah. What's really cool is Kyle kind of inadvertently made a point that Ron Moore made earlier this week. And I mean, I know there are people out there who think there's too much Tobias time. I personally don't agree with him, and it's not because I'm the big Tobias Menzies fan. I'm actually really not a huge Tobias Menzies fan. I know. Kill me now. Kill me now. There are people lining up on my lawn. But no, I mean, I'm just not all the sun, the moon, and the stars is Tobias. Gray McTavish, we could talk. But anyway, back to my point. Frank made Ron Moore. I'm the alcohol. Ron Moore made the point of read Frank because exactly what Kyle's saying. A lot of Dragonfly and Amber is driven by what will happen to Frank. What do we? There's a good reason for Frank to be in it, and we also needed to understand why she could be torn between two people. So I don't think there's too much Frank. I think you need him as part of the narrative.
I agree. I think we definitely we need Frank to get over Blackjack Randall. We need to see Frank being a loving husband, caring for his wife, looking for her, trying to do his best to save her, because otherwise we're not gonna, like, when we see him again, we're not gonna like him at all.
Yeah, but that's over. Like, you look for her, we got that. Like, that's done. They can't keep going back to that. So, like, what I'm saying is, you're right. Like, I'm glad we saw that. Like, everybody that's super upset about Frank, you don't, I mean, in the book, you're not as interested in Frank because you're caught up in what's going on with Jamie and Claire, but that's not the reality of what's going on.
Oh no, Beth froze.
Beth froze. Oh no.
Well, this is a perfect time.
Oh, there we go. Oh, now I'm getting people to tell me I don't like Tobias.
Hand five or
right.
whatever the heck that thing is. Who's gonna win while Beth is frozen?
Oh, she's back.
Oh, she's
Now we got
back.
two of her. Hey.
Next time I'm coming back with my boobs out.
The winner goes to IMLFW. She tweets, "Can we talk about the Let's Change the Future line?" That delivery was like, "Let's put on a show."
Yeah, she was a little too enthusiastic.
What are you winning?
Just a casual Outlander bag.
That bag is awesome. They're really big.
I'm really pissed, actually. I have to get rid of it because it's been holding a lot of shit in my office for the last couple months.
That would have been a good beach bag.
A new place for shit. That would have been a good beach bag because it, like, will, repel the sand. Congratulations, LIMDLW. Please DM us so I know what the hell your name is and get your address.
Oh my god.
Okay. So while I'm still here, before I disappear again, let's talk about the lack of intimacy that people are talking about between Jamie and Claire. Now, there's two aspects to this. There's this particular episode and the fact that they're supposed to be having sex at some point and they don't, which a lot of people have conceded to the fact that the timeline is condensed. I mean, he's basically probably still got a perforated colon, right? I mean, he's still healing internally from...
Oh no!
No!
Oh,
I don't want that to be the last thing I heard Beth say.
Yeah, I think what Beth is going to say is that Claire does not have a magic vagina, and nor would that be believable on screen.
Wait, are they supposed to have had, like, sex?
Beth is back. There we go.
I'm so mad at my internet. Sorry.
Oh. There's a super good tweet, and Jamie's rule says, "Book Frank and TV Frank are not the same to me."
Okay.
Yeah,
What does that mean? Jamie, do you like one better than the other? Please let us know.
But
Go ahead, Beth. Sorry.
I'm sorry I get kicked off. But I mean, so Jamie is still healing, and that's why they're not having sex at the end in the Abbey. But in general, there's a lack. Like, people feel like there's a lack of connection between them. What do you guys think about that?
I don't see a lack of connection as a non-book reader. I think, like, are you just talking about sexually? Because, like, I don't know, because, like, romantic connection, I think it's gotten stronger. I think this is one of the strongest episodes of the romantic connection between the two of them, because Claire was just so adamant about getting him healed and get fit. And he was so adamant about not being able to be loved by her. Like, I think it was the strongest episode by far of showing their feelings for one another, because he was so affected by what Blackjack Randall did to him that the only thing he was worrying about was, like, how is she going to forgive me? Why can you love me like this? Like, how is this possible? And I think that just showed the biggest connection between them at all. I don't see a lack of romance there.
Yeah.
I think this is where, like, the true, actual, like, love came in. The stuff that's hard. The stuff that, like, you're jumping in the bed with him and, like, it's going to get real. Not just the lovey-dovey on the moors and the heather type stuff. Like, this was the first, like, this is real to her.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's basically, I'll walk through hell for you. You know, it's yeah, absolutely, that's it.
I think this was a perfect example because I agree. There was, Kyle, you had asked, was there like a scene that we missed? Yeah, there was this actually really great scene that happens in the book, but it's a lot longer process.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I like that scene.
I think it's just so far-fetched.
Are you saying that they had
I'm talking about the
sex after he got raped?
Yeah, but like it's
but it's months later.
Months later.
Oh, okay.
So we missed that. And I do think that, like, I understand why fans are upset about that because they want every little minute detail. But again, as a visual portrayal of this work, it didn't make sense. It would have been completely fake to have that there because we're talking about a week or two. I don't know how long we're talking about. Not very long.
Days, because they're still in Scotland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's that moment where she does hug him and tells him, like, I'll be with you forever. And his hand is, like, coming around trying to hug her.
Yeah.
And it's really sweet and it's powerful, but then his hand starts to drift down. And the first time I saw it, I was worried he was going to go grab her ass cheeks and then we were going to get the sex. And I was like, no, don't do it. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. Please just don't. Yeah. So I was glad that we didn't see that because it would have felt so gross after watching him make love to Blackjack like 5 seconds before.
Oh, God, yeah. Right. But I think you were saying earlier, Beth, thing that is true is that even though I agree that that was not the moment for a sex scene by any means, but there are little moments throughout the entire series that we would have liked to have seen more of the tenderness elongated in different places. I mean, I think we can all pick like episodes that we were just like, no, and we've talked about before of just where we would have liked to have seen a little more connection between the two. It's there. It just sort of needed some finishing touches that I know we think were not there as well as they could have been.
Yeah, but I think too that if you're a non-book reader, sometimes that it may be too much. It may be sometimes cheesy, and you're not looking for a specific line or a specific scene or a specific place that they made love in the haystack and with Hamish or whatever. You're not looking for that, so you can't be disappointed that it's not there.
Don't say made love in the haystack with Hamish. Ever again. Go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that Lindsay points out, I'm sorry, I just blanked on your Twitter handle, but she points out it's all because of the mismanagement of time earlier on in the season. And, yeah, I think we could all agree with that there's definitely things throughout the season that could have been condensed and perhaps more of those intimate moments interspersed throughout. And I think that probably would have given them a chance to maybe expand. I apologize, there's a bus going by. I think this would have given them a chance to really, expand this episode and maybe given more time to the strife of having to see him in such a dark place and the struggle to bring him back. And
what they would have done. I mean, like, would they have hugged more? I mean, I think maybe that here's my only beef with this episode, and we can talk about it because it's the end, and we're there anyway. Is the end on the boat? I like that Jamie's trying to be like his funny self and trying to be light-hearted about some things, but I felt like there was a laundry list of setups for season 2. I mean, literally, it was a laundry list. You talked about Bonnie Prince Charlie. You talked about how the king was in Italy. They talked about trying to change the future. They talked about her being pregnant. They talked about what are we going to do in France. So, I mean, it was just like this laundry list of things, all the things that are going to be the episodes in season 2. We got a bullet list of them in the last 5 minutes.
We could probably name what episodes are, right, based on what they said. Like, exactly. Kyle, if you want to know what happens in season 2, go back and listen to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, the only thing we were missing was somebody walking around the deck with the word cliffhanger on a sign. That was the only thing missing.
Yeah. They talked about Culloden. I mean, it's such a laundry list that it's dumb. You're just like, this is dumb. I mean, it's a cute scene. They could have made it a lot more emotional. Like, maybe had the baby reveal in the bedroom or something. But that's my only beef with it.
Definitely stay tuned for season 2.
But then again, I'm not a book reader. So, but like having not known any of that, I was just like watching them talk about like what are they going to do, who are they going to stay with, what Claire wants to do. I thought it was like it made sense to me as a non-book reader because it's stuff that they have to think about. And literally nothing they said resonated with me at all. You just said a bunch of names, and I was like, I don't know.
I think that I wouldn't be surprised because, again, reading the books, knowing nothing about Scottish history and not really looking into it until after, I was like, oh, it's kind of important to know what's going on. Culloden, that's a thing. I know they talked about it early on, but I don't get it. Oh, this is a book that has historical significance. I didn't understand. There are actual things that happened that we're talking about here, Kyle, that you may not know, and maybe the average watcher doesn't know, and I think that's kind of cool.
Did you just shoot honey?
I did, yeah.
Are you sick?
No.
Just for the fun of it? You're just let me shoot this honey right now?
I'm hungry.
In his own house.
I'm hungry. I have to go back for a second because we were talking about the end. And I watched it with my boyfriend. He was sitting there. He goes, why would I watch the next season? They just, gave everything away. There was no cliffhanger. They were like, I'm pregnant. We're sailing to France. See you later. There was the end of the Hallmark special. They sailed off into the sunset, and that was that. It was I don't know. They didn't make anyone sign up for season 2.
Yeah, I wanted it to be, oh my God, I've got to see where they're going to go with this in the next season, which is how seasons should end.
I'm really less excited about season 2 than I was about Outlander in general. I don't know what it is, but when they stepped off that boat and having knowing that they're going somewhere to France, I'm like, all right,
yeah,
I'm not as excited as I was. I don't know what it is. I just love the show because it took place in Scotland, and so
I think that's a huge thing. Scotland is a character in the show, and Scotland doesn't play a part all the time.
So Kyle, I need you to kind of earmuffs for a second.
Put those earmuffs on.
I will take these off, and then
Spoiler alert.
I will take these off, and then let me know when I can put them back on.
Okay,
right?
we will.
Give me the thumbs up. And for everyone listening, watching, we'll let you know, or we'll kind of wait or something. Yeah. So, do we think that if they perhaps did a scene showing Claire back in normal time, at the end of the season? Do you think that would have been more of a kind of grab, oh my God, what happens? How does she?
It would have grabbed you, but it would have been really, really out of place. They just should have come up with a way to take what's happening in the Abbey and making it dangerous enough for them to have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that, Jamie, but yeah, okay.
Or even if season 2 starts with, okay, I won't say it.
I think there is a place. Good? Yeah, you're good to come back. We won't say anything. I think that we're going to tell you right now that we're going to obviously continue talking about Outlander throughout the way, and I think we should very soon have a big spoilery Outlander episode where we talk about what are they going to do. How's this going to happen? I think that'd be really fun. So, where we can not invite Kyle. No.
Because to get you excited about it, Kyle, honestly, to get
you... It went off, I'm sorry. It went off. We don't have any more prizes.
Oh, we have more prizes.
Send hate tweets to It's Showtime, Nikki. It's her turn.
We have another prize. I can give away a bag.
Oh, okay.
Oh, one more bag.
Woo! Last tweet was Fitzer B. Mama. The word pregnant was taboo till the 50s. Oops, that's totally out of context. Anyway.
Yay!
Congrats!
Claudia.
Send this again.
So yeah, you'll get a bag, Claudia. But yeah, Kyle, get you excited about season 2? The very first page of the second book opens on a giant what the fuck.
You're gonna throw your TV through the window.
Yeah, if that's how they open the season, you're gonna just absolutely not fucking know what's going on. And so it's one of those things where people pick it up and think they picked up the wrong book. It's so bizarre. So
Did you read the Twilight series, Kyle?
Yes, I did.
It's New Moon level shit.
All right.
I just want it noted that Becca's the one who made the Twilight reference this
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. Everything goes back to Twilight.
It is New Moon level.
It is. It's exactly what I thought. I was like, what the fuck am I reading this book for?
It's so true, serious.
Anyway, we should move on to some final thoughts because it has been about an hour.
Sure.
Beth, you wanted to talk about a couple things happening in the world of Outlander?
There's a lot of buzz lately from stars and online just trying to get this show seen. Like, hashtag Emmys for Outlander is a thing that's going on in June. And I have to say, you know, in 2014, the winners of the Emmys in drama were like Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, Aaron Paul, Anna Gunn. That was their last season. True Detective. In 2013, I think it was Breaking Bad and House of Cards and, you know, Newsroom. I'm not sure that Outlander's got enough buzz in mainstream media to have any chance to even be nominated.
You don't think so?
Not for main show. Like, Beth, you have said, like, maybe some
Technicals.
actors.
And, yeah, supporting maybe. I mean,
Costume, maybe, but even if they got a supporting nom, I don't think they would win it. I think that the Emmys is way too involved in how long a show has been on TV and whether or not it's supposed to be in their last season and how much buzz that show has.
Yeah, I mean, look at Orphan Black and Tatiana Maslany.
Yes.
I mean, that's just a slight left and right.
Yeah.
Don't
The
get me
Emmys-
started.
the
Oh,
on
yes,
Emmys
I
will
don't
be-
get Kyle started on that at all, yeah.
The Emmys will be Mad Men this year, so take
Yeah.
a seat,
Yeah.
Outlander, and wait your turn for a few years until you finally ingratiate yourself.
I just,
To the
I feel like
voters.
Sam is getting robbed because his portrayal, like especially in the finale, was just astounding.
Yeah.
Astounding. Like he was amazing.
And maybe,
And I-
Kyle, you're right. You're totally right. It was astounding. I don't know that there is a better, like, emotive thing happening on TV right now. However, you'd have to have the thing completely changed. The Emmys, the Oscars, they all just give the awards to the people that, you know, it's just all a political game.
Yeah.
Outlander's not going to win.
I mean, the only extra chance that they have that I can see as far as the acting awards, I'm pretty sure. Am I correct in that Breaking Bad wraps? So Breaking Bad is not up for noms.
Right,
this
they're
year,
done.
Right.
Right.
They're done. We also fall in between. There's one other too that I was thinking did not air in time for this to. True Detective is wrapped too. True Detective was last year. So to me, there's a window on supporting actor. I don't know that. I mean, I love Sam and Cat. I agree with you. I just don't think that they will get it. But I think there's a window for Tobias on supporting actor.
He might
And
get
then
nommed, but I don't think
I
he'll
don't think he'll win. I don't think he'll win. I think he has a chance of getting nominated. I don't think he will win. But I think Terry will get it for costumes, and I think they also stand a shot at sound editing. Absolutely, I think
They
stand
do,
a huge
and
chance of that.
do they do an Emmy for like
Casting.
makeup?
Yes,
Yes.
it's on the technicals that are ahead of time, so you don't get to hear about it.
Okay.
But guys,
Get
if you
that.
hashtag Emmys for Outlander anytime, like you're like, I'm standing in line at the post office, hashtag Emmys for Outlander, I think that they'll probably get a chance. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, just add it to all your tweets, put it on Instagram, Facebook, text it to your dad. I bet
I
it's
saw a hot guy at Disneyland. Hashtag
Hashtag
Emmys for Outlander. Emmys for Outlander.
Maybe
Take a shot of honey. Emmys for Outlander.
Emmys for Outlander.
excuse me, Becca. As a part of the Outlanders Inlanders Alliance, I would like to tell you that if you hashtag Emmys for Outlander before the appointed day on June the whatever it is, it will not count towards trending and might bump the trending on June the 15th out of the running altogether and keep it from trending as it should on the Emmys consideration day. So please, don't listen to Becca's terrible advice.
Because
the Inlanders
so-
Alliance needs you.
So are you saying on
Because
June 15th
so many
is
of
when
the
we should
voting
tweet?
members who are 75 years old and older are on Twitter, just to make that one clear. You know.
But as much as we're joking, I just want to, I know since it's kind of our last one, unless we do a spoilery one, but just how impressed and I am at the the actors in the entire series. And I know, we're saying they probably won't get nominated, but they should. I think the acting was phenomenal. All the way through. I don't think there was any moment really in any episode where I was like, oh, this isn't believable. I think they did a fantastic job. So if you're out there and listening, because we know Kat's totally just listening. She loves that. So you guys were amazing. I think they were spot on casting. And it was really great.
I agree.
Yep. And a cast that doesn't seem like it's loaded with douchebags either, because we've all been attached to those shows. And
except for Greg McTavish. What a dick.
So best friend awards instead of Emmys. Best friends for Outlander.
Best
Good
friends. We're the very best friends. So I would like to know. Oh, go ahead, Becca.
Well, now, before we wrap, because we have a little wrap thing we're gonna do, but I want to say we have really enjoyed the last 6 episodes or something. We've made into a That's Normal podcast. It was a goal of ours, and we got it done, and it's been really fun. And we want to continue that. So we don't have anything big to announce, which I did promise that we would on the last podcast, so I'm sorry. But we do plan to do smaller conversations. Like Beth wants to talk about Orphan Black. Is that right? Or Penny Dreadful?
Yeah.
Both. I was like, yep. Yeah. Anyway, we may not be able to do constant shows, and maybe they won't be an hour long, but 20-minute conversations. There's a ton of stuff that we love.
I mean, I could spend an hour talking about Stephen Amell's abs. So, let's get this going.
Game of Thrones. There's a ton. So if you have suggestions, we love hearing them. So please tweet us, comment on the web, on our web. Zanga.com, where we have a web blog, and let us know what you want to do. But it may not be weekly, but we do plan to continue the Totally Normal podcast, so we hope that you continue downloading it, because I literally thought maybe 25 people would, and a lot more have. I just looked. We had thousands of people last month, so that's awesome.
Yay.
We might win an award. Hashtag podcast awards for That's Normal. Anyway, so
I also am really
join you
excited
ladies
about on the stars level about Flesh and Bone.
Oh, that thing looks really cool.
I was like, I did write about that. So as it progresses, I plan to write some more as we're kind of in the quote-unquote Droughtlander period. And I am a dance flick buff, so maybe at some point we can kind of have a whole chat about dance movies, dance TV shows, the whole genre, and have some fun with that. So send us ideas if you want to hear stuff like that. Please let us know. And Beth is just, for those listening, you can't see, Beth is just shaking it, and she's moving, she's rolling her shoulders. We're all dancing.
Do it. I can do it. I can do anything.
Sing your Sandy Patty.
Oh, when they pierced your side, did they think they could open your heart more? All right.
Easter? I felt like it was Easter for a second.
It's an Easter song. It's about Jesus. Mary sings it from the foot of the cross.
Or it's about Sam and Jamie, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to hell. Anyway.
That's the whole point. He branded himself on the side where Jesus gets cut. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
By the spirit of destiny that Mac has.
Yeah, the spirit of destiny. That's exactly what it is, biblically, too. So let's talk about our expectations for season 2, because Kyle's got expectations.
Yeah.
Non-spoilery.
If we can.
And just what we want to see.
Okay, I hope that there's lots of Jamie speaking French, because that would be very sexy.
Yes, it would.
That's a good point.
See, we're all in agreement there. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go last. I'll just go
Okay.
last.
Laura, do you have any expectations?
I'm going to make this as non-spoilery as possible. If I just want Fergus to be amazing. Because I think sometimes kid actors suck, and I want Fergus to be amazing.
Don't you think it'd be, I just, in my head, think that they're going to get the kid from Les Mis? I was thinking that!
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
He's like the only French
You're gonna
kid.
have that brush.
Yeah.
They could. I just like you could just get burned really bad with kid actors, and I just and obviously I think they will eventually have to recast that. But yeah,
And Fergus has buck teeth. I want to see like some buck teeth. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want a really good Milor.
Yeah.
I really do.
I want Fergus to be like super smooth, like this really smooth pickpockety French kid.
Yes. Yeah. I just want a really good Fergus. So.
Well, I think that's interesting because I haven't thought about that. I know the fandom has been waiting for some big casts for season 2 to be announced.
I said big
they
cats,
can't.
and I was like, what?
Big cats. Yeah, there's gonna be cats. They can't.
Right.
They can't. Without giving away major things, they cannot announce cast.
Yeah, they can.
No, they will.
You don't know who it is.
You know who when they'll do it? They'll do it when they're going to film a scene outside and it's impossible to keep it under.
Yeah.
That's when they'll do it.
Yeah.
If they're filming in
the
this studio in Cumbernauld, it doesn't matter. But the second they go to a location shoot, they can't keep. At that point, they'll have to unwrap.
Yeah, but I think, is Kyle going to look up who's the...
Oh, yeah, but the internet's not dumb. There's going to be somebody out there going, who's this chick? And they're going to,
I don't want Kyle to know. Kyle, don't Google a thing. Don't do it.
Google.
Don't Google. Say no to Google.
But on that note, Comic-Con this year is pretty early. They could save casting announcements for Comic-Con. Eventually.
They better show something. Don't do that bullshit stuff that Game of Thrones does where they just show title treatment. You better show at least something.
Yeah.
So,
And we know you're listening.
My serious pointy thing in your face.
Let's throw this out there, too.
Yeah.
Comic-Con's only like 5 or 6 weeks away. I know you guys probably need moderators for your panel. Hello!
We're here.
We're right
available.
here.
I bet you anything
Inappropriate jokes.
I'm hoping that Outlander gets to the Hilton Bayfront Ballroom this year, out of that tiny little room. I don't know if it'll make Ball 20, but it should make the Hilton Bayfront.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It should.
Nikki, what do you want to see in season 2?
Oh, I'm just going to name names. I want to see Roger. I want to see Bree. I don't care what these haters online say. I also haven't read that far, so maybe those are terrible people here. But...
No, they're not. People hate Roger, and that's dumb. Beth hates Roger.
It's not weird.
I don't hate Roger. I think that Roger is a loser. That's a different thing. Plenty of people are losers. I think Roger is up there with dudes that I would be like, no thanks.
Well, Beth thinks this guy's a loser who I want to see, but I don't know that much about it.
I think he comes into his own. I don't know.
I think it gets worse. I think it gets worse.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
All right, so
be hot.
to cap us off, is that like a thing? I don't understand. I've had a bunch of
Why not?
Kyle, the non-book reader amongst us who we love having, please tell us what because you're the one that they want to reach. You tell the Stars community what you want to see in season 2.
Okay.
I
feel like it has to be more important than what I said in the chat now. Okay. I'm gonna be blunt. I'm a little drunk, so drunk me wants. I want more gay and less creep. So not
good gay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Please and thank you.
Gay.
All right. And I also I want more Frank. I really want more Frank. On the serious note, I need to see him. I need to see what he's doing. Point blank.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
I would like to see Jamie's penis.
Yeah, that was the third one that I wanted.
I'm just kidding. I've already seen it.
Yeah, your dreams, girl.
I have no expectations for season 2. My only expectation for season 2 is that it really is a tighter pace.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my biggest expectation. I want them to tell this great story, which is Dragonfly is such a good book, and I want it to just be as tight and as quick and as awesome as possible.
Yeah.
I think we've said this kind of on many episodes. They have done such an amazing adaptation of this book. that they've proven that to the book fans. Like, F you guys who are just assholes and complain all day long. F y'all. They've done we've seen lots of adaptations. This is one of the best ones we've ever seen. You've proven yourselves. Take the freedom that you do to make the visual adaptation the best that it needs to be. If that means doing something different than the book says, then do it. Make the best decision for the story.
Yeah. And I said it earlier this week when people were complaining. Like, literally, if you watch book-to-movie adaptations or book-to-screen adaptations, this one is more faithful to the source material than 90% of what I've seen. And
probably a lot more than it should be.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only thing that's closer to its book source material that I've ever seen is Harry Potter, the first one.
Yeah.
Like, the first and second Harry Potter movies are super close to the books. And that's the only thing I've ever seen that's closer to its source material than Outlander. And Outlander had 16 hours. So, I mean, it's an incredibly close adaptation. If you're really concerned about the small things or the small bits of dialogue that aren't in it, you've never seen an adaptation. You don't know what that means, because it's fantastic in that realm.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me about the people on Amazon.com who are complaining about The Exile being a graphic novel, complaining that they don't know that it was a comic book. And I'm like, you just don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm getting a bunch of like hate for liking Frank now. Like, not hate, but like
I got hate tweets for not liking Tobias.
Me, like, why do you like Frank? Frank is boring, and I'm like, what?
No, I agree with you, Kyle. And people are like super mean about it. And I think that the Frank hate, like, I get it to an extent as we learn more what happens and stuff, but also not. I really don't think we do. His wife left him for a Scottish man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I mean, maybe this is me going out on a limb. I'll probably get a whole bunch of hate tweets. I mean, there's a couple different online versions of things, and there's one online version that it's basically accusing Ron Moore of deliberately pushing a secret Tobias Menzies agenda, and that he just like sand. I mean, honestly, I saw it and I was like, Outlander's got its crazies. And then I got to it. I was like, could you just all sit the F down and get out of my fandom, because you're just making us all look stupid. Like, seriously, you're morons. I'm going to get hate for that, but I think they're morons.
I think the people that are really upset about Frank and the time that Frank gets on screen are upset because they think in some way that if you cut out a couple of scenes of Frank, you would have more time to explore Jamie and Claire, as if it's a one-for-one, like, substitution. It's not the case at all. Like, they took out a scene with Frank with Sally in the alley. It doesn't mean that they're going to get, the barn scene with Jamie and Claire. That doesn't mean that that's going to fit and that's going to go. So it's a stupid mentality. It literally is a stupidity that makes people think that if they pull Frank out, they would get more Jamie and Claire. That is not how TV works. It's not how storytelling works. And it's not how they broke those episodes in the writer's room. And making choices about whether or not they have a certain amount of dialogue or a certain sex scene or a certain look between Jamie and Claire has fuck all to do with how many scenes Frank gets. Y'all are idiots.
Well, and to think that a showrunner is so, like, concerned with how many fans he has, and especially with the cast that's all British Isles cast, they don't get into half of this stupid shit that American actors do. I mean, it's just laughable on its face. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're really rapping long here. Rapping long is not the word, but that's what you say when you've had as much gin as I've had. It's time to rap. We should wrap. This has been amazing. You guys, everybody that's watched, this has like been our biggest live night yet. So we are so grateful for everybody who's watched and interact with us online. And thank you for the winners. Hey, we're still missing Fits Our Mama and then whoever won the shirt. You guys haven't DM'd us yet. Please do that because I don't remember.
It's Fits Our Mama. Her name is Claudia.
Fits Our Mama, Claudia. Please DM us. And then the Maria, somebody that won the shirt. Please DM us. But we will be watch our tweets and Laura's posts about Outlander, and we will be letting you know what's happening, what's going up, and then obviously the Totally Normal podcast will continue in some format. If you need to get a bus in New York City, you know outside of Jamie's house.
It sounded like a spaceship or some time travel.
20 minutes to Midtown.
Hey guys, and And I'll say this too, guys. We have lots of Blurtlanders upcoming for Droughtlander. So those of you that have been missing Blurtlander,
Right.
the last episode he did was the witch trial. So he's got quite a few episodes to go.
How much does he watch?
There he is. Say hi.
There's
He's
Blurty.
on
There you go.
Did he
They
put
can't
pants
see
on
you?
yet? Ryan,
He has
do
no
you have
pants on. In
He
fact,
still has no pants on.
no. No.
I'm a
Laura's
blue
worried. Laura's worried
Yeah,
about
but-
pants.
He doesn't know we can't see him. Oh, he's got his blue shirt. Hey, yeah, that's good. We got some exciting things coming up because obviously we've all been missing Blurtlander. And there's a ton of stuff coming up, guys. We're all going to be at Comic-Con, right? Laura, you're going this year.
Everyone.
You're going to be there. Everyone going to be at Comic-Con, so we are excited. There's a ton, so please
Yeah, and
don't. Go ahead.
I was just
Jane.
gonna say we did some live hangouts in years past at Comic-Con, so we may
Yeah,
do some of
drunk.
those again.
Okay, yep, we may do that again. We'll do it again.
This time with Tobias.
Obviously.
No, our new
Tobias.
BFF.
Shut up. He's
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Outlander's making a big deal about Comic-Con this year, so something must be coming. We'll see. We'll see. We have no idea. We're excited. So thank you so much for taking a part in what used to be called Talking Outlander and is now much more aptly named Hang Outlander. And this is not going to end, so stay tuned to everywhere you can find us online. Find us on Zanga and MySpace.
I still have a Zanga. I hope it's still there.
An vision board
not.
somewhere.
I think. Okay. All right, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.